Hello everyone, and welcome back to Aarklash Legacy. I have to be careful between episodes. I always take a short break, and the NPCs or the not NPCs, the party members, they start doing short dialogues if I don't do anything for a while. So if I interrupt them doing that, I'm sorry. They're just kind of small little jokes usually. Okay, we have again sighted enemies. We have now found a elite enemy. You can tell from the color of this archer's name that she, I think the archers are kind of female, I believe. But this enemy is a stronger version of a normal archer. In this case, the archer has the strength of the lion, which is a additional damage skill. Elites will usually have more armor and more damage and more health than the standard versions. And she also has a self buff, which improves her speed of attack by 50% for 15 seconds. So again, let's get Knocker on killing duty or on tanking duty. I will put Denzel on the archer to deal damage to the archer. The archer is slightly weaker against magic than against physical. So I will put Nella over here. Redirect skills which are being readied. The elite archer has started to incant his powerful shot at Denzel, who does not have good armor. I'll actually explain that to you. Now, if I see an enemy using a skill like this, it has a bit of a cast time. So in this case 3 seconds. I could interrupt it now if I got Nella there in time, which I can try, of course. Alternatively, by hovering over the skill, I can see who's being targeted by it. And that's Denzel. And as the tooltip says, Denzel only has 1000 health, he doesn't have much armor, as his disadvantage is that he's quite squishy. So he would take a fair amount of damage from this. Instead, I can taunt, and I'll show you that. I can taunt the archer, which will force the archer to target Knocker. He is unable to use skills or anything else on anyone else. He's still using that skill, it's still being incanted. But it's going to target Knocker now instead of Denzel. And Knocker has a lot more defense against damage. Okay, so let's move Denzel out of here. Let's move Knocker back here. Attack the Swordsman. The taunt is one way, so Knocker has now taunted the archer. The archer is forced to attack Knocker. I can attack whoever I like on Knocker though. So as I said, it's a one-way thing, and I can show you Wenderu's skills now as well. We haven't seen those yet because we haven't needed them yet. Wenderu at this stage is our healer. She has 250 MP to work with, and she has a Star of Vitality, which is a directional shot. As you can see, it's a support skill that has a ground targeting type. Costs me 75 MP and has a certain cooldown and range. We'll see what all that means in just a second. And it restores 400 HP to the first unit which it hits. If I'm not careful, I hit an enemy with it, that enemy gets healed. And her second skill is Sacred Feast, which steals 200 HP from an ally, so I have to eat one of my party members' health, basically. But it restores her mana by 50. And it also transfers any increase effects which Wenderu is affected by to the ally. We currently don't have any increase effects that could be affecting her, so that's irrelevant at this stage. But Knocker has taken some damage, so I'll show you the Star of Vitality. The range, as you can see the arrow which is currently moving as I moving up and down as I move my mouse, like this. That's the direction I'm shooting at. And this kind of flat line segment, not really, but the very much flat arrow at the end of the arrow, which is, you see, the flat thing, that's the maximum range of this skill. And this basically allows me to target wherever I like, and I obviously want to target my tank, so this is what I'm doing. And there we have that good heal going through. The archer now has an increased speed of attack because of the celerity that the archer activated. But that's okay, the first swordsman almost dead. And we'll deal with the second one in just a bit. I will also use Nella's damage skill, because why not? Which took out a fair chunk of health. Later on, I won't be using Nella for damage as much, because I like to be able to use the control skill. Now Noka has taken some serious damage, so I'll move Wenderu up a little bit. And put in another Star of Vitality for healing. Yes, that's basically what I just explained. And as always, Noka can also heal herself. Now, let's see, we found an earring, a coiled earring for additional magic armor, which I'll also put on our tank. We will find lots of equipment later on, so don't worry, I won't be giving all the good stuff to the tank. Everyone will get good stuff. There's no worry about that, but just for now, the tank is just... She has most use for increased armor, because she gets attacked the most. So we have 2 bards now and 2 swordsmen. This is just telling me to manage stacked actions, which I've already explained. It's when I press shift to queue up skills. Now let's take Nella and put her over here. Wenderu, you can go over here. Denzel, why don't you start attacking this? No, actually don't. Now we have the invocation of the light again, which I don't really want to see being used, so I'm just going to use the knockdown skill. Obviously, because it has a mana cost and my regen is kind of limited, I will probably be unable to interrupt all of them, but I can take out this one as well. And now I'm low on mana and need to regenerate. And Wenderu can heal Noka for a bit, Noka can heal herself for a bit.
What would you do without me?
Now everyone attack this bard. And Denzel, you can buff yourself for a moment. Haven't shown Denzel's last skill yet. That's Cutthroat. Denzel slashes his target, which suffers 500 bleeding damage in 10 seconds. So I'll use that on the other one, because the first one's almost dead. And Denzel leveled up, very good. He now unlocked his next skill. And Noka leveled up as well, okay. Let's open the chest, in which we found 3 things, which I'll go through quickly. Firstly, we don't get skill points yet, we only get them from level 4 onwards. At this stage we're unlocking skills by leveling up. So Denzel now has Mystic Theft, which is an anti-magic skill, which are blue. It's targeting an enemy, and I remove the increase effects, which affect his target. So increase effects are a certain type of buff, which they're usually indicated by yellow symbols. For example, the Hysteria of the God Rat. That's an increase effect which basically makes me attack faster and take less damage from physical attacks for a short amount of time. And that's the kind of stuff we hear when we're not doing very much for a while. Who else? Noka, I believe, leveled up as well. She now has the Prismatic Silica, which improves her physical and magic armor by 75% for 15 seconds. A very nice defensive buff. And also an increase effect. But the Mystic Theft works on my enemies, so I can take away their increase effects. And inventory, what did we find? We have a coiled ring for 6 magic armor, which is... it technically has more armor than the ring Noka currently has, but I want her armors to be slightly more balanced, so I'm just giving it to Denzel, who's our weakest in terms of armor. The earrings, we have found 2 of them. Dimensional Earring, improving physical armor, magic armor, and mana regeneration. And Blessed Earring, improving physical armor and duration of reduction effects. So I think I'm giving this one to Noka. The increased mana regeneration is very useful for Nella. She now has 7.4 mana per second instead of 7. You can see, if I take them away, 7. If I hover over it, it shows me the stat changes, which is also very useful. And the final earring can go to Denzel. And that's all we found. So let's keep going for a bit.
I like this group. We're good together.
Only recording 2 episodes for now. I want to stay closer to the feedback with this series, which might also mean that we won't be seeing... it might be that you don't see an episode for a day or two because I won't be recording in advance. Yes, the game just reminded us of something very important, which is to save regularly. It has to be said the boss fights in this game aren't really that challenging, but the standard trash mobs, I guess, they can actually be very difficult depending on the group composition.
You are doomed, Wheel Swords! Lay down your weapons! Return her to me, and I'll spare your wretched lives!
You are in breach of contract with the Goldmongers Guild, Lord Mornstar. We are in our rights to recover what is ours from your estate.
His soldiers are moving to surround us. They're going to attack.
We cannot lay our weapons down, even if we so wanted. We are Wheel Swords, bound by blood contract to the Guild. The relic is confiscated. Take up your complaints with our patrons.
I see no patrons here. Insolent curs. These are my lands. Kill them! Kill them all!
Okay, so firstly we now, yeah, thank you, we now have a boss. His name is Red, which is even stronger than the dark orange we have for elite enemies. So, it's very important to look at the enemies if you're playing this yourself, which I would recommend. It's a very cool game. But when you encounter a new type of enemy, it can always be helpful to check him out. Firstly, his physical damage is pretty good already, and he has 3 skills. He's weak against magic and quite strong against physical. 120 doesn't mean that he has 120% damage reduction, making him immune or anything. I don't quite know how the calculation works, but he will still take physical damage, just not very much. He has New Hope, which makes him kneel down for 2 seconds, and after this 2 seconds is over, he makes himself immune to damage for 15 seconds, and all allies within 10 meters regenerate 300 HP over 10 seconds. He has Art of the Diplomat, which is a taunt. And he has Lance Blow, which is just an increased damage skill. So Knocker is going to attack him. Denzil is going to attack this archer, I guess. The archer also has celerity, so I want to show you the Mystic Theft thing. And I want to use Nella behind Lord Mornstar. Okay, so he's taunting Knocker, which is fine, because I want her to stay close to him anyway. I could interrupt it now, but I don't want to waste my mana on that. Denzil, you're attacking and using the Hysteria of the God Rat. And why don't I stack up the buffs on Knocker? Okay, so this tells us about the taunt effect, which forces a unit to attack a taunter. I'm still able to use certain skills, so I can still use my self buffs even though I'm being taunted. I can still use a damage skill if I wanted to. I could still taunt him back if I wanted to. I can't target the Swordsman, however. It's not going to work out. Wendoru. Okay, now Lord Monster is using his healing skill. Let's see if I can interrupt that quickly enough. And Wendoru, you can heal Knocker. There we go. So, Captain Monster has not just used a powerful spell. It just shows up the tooltip anyway. We could, the skill itself is a support skill, but I believe the effect which he puts on himself, making him immune against damage, is an increase effect, like this one. And I could remove that using Denzil's Mystic Theft. But I'm actually going to use Mystic Theft on the archer to remove his celerity. Let's see if that works. There you go, the celerity is now gone, the archer's attacking back at normal speed.
Think so?
And let's also use Denzil to slash that archer a bit. Okay, that's Wendoru leveled up. Denzil, why don't you move over here and take on the Swordsman? Knocker, why don't you do the same thing? Also heal yourself, and Wendoru will chuck a healing in as well.
We are Wheel Swords!
And we'll look at Wendoru's new skill after the fight is over. Okay, Knocker's about to get taunted, but I'm okay with that. I would rather try to interrupt his self-heal. Or his self-immunity
thing.
has the little man. just like a lord to flee when a battle is lost.
I don't like this. Even Mornstar is not stupid enough to believe he can take on the guild.
It's not the first time a petty noble has contested a contract. All we need to do is survive long enough and he'll be dead or indebted before week's end. We could always give him back the relic. It's just some silly old orb. The guild will get it back in the end with double the interest.
Our orders were to take it. End of story. Lakshai left no room for negotiation or barter in his command. I will not give it back.
We're
also...
not giving the relic to those fools. We'll never get our golden links by running away from drooling rabbits.
Put those fangs back, or I'll be forced to kiss you. I love the fire in your eyes when you're angry.
Enough talk. We keep the orb. Let's just get out of here.
Thank you. The interactions between the characters are quite fun. Now it's telling us the categories of effect, which we've already seen a few of. Yellow, increase effects. Green, support effects. White, general effects. Black, control effect. Violet, reduction. Blue, anti-magic. Red, damage. And we can always see that in our in the colors of our skill icons. And yeah, Wenderu only has support skills at this stage.
I think a spider's knitting a web around my feet. Let's
Yes.
do something.
Again, because I'm explaining, we will get those dialogues a fair amount. Now, Wenderu has gained Leech Grain, which implants a grain into the body of an enemy, and after 25 seconds, the grain explodes and restores 600 HP to all allies within 4 meters of the carrier. This is immensely useful in boss fights, which take a long time, because this just kind of starts ticking away on the boss, and after 25 seconds I get the heal. And it only heals allies, so unlike the Star
You're
of
like
Vitality...
old women. Let's move on.
Blah-de-blah-de-blah, thank you. The Star of Vitality, if I aim it poorly, it can hit an enemy and heal them. The Leech Grain will only heal my units, so that can be very useful. I think we should have enough time to do our first proper mini-boss fight, because the monster just ran away after we dealt a certain amount of damage. But back here we're about to find something. Looks like a normal chest. And technically it is, but it's guarded. So, enemy sighted. It's a lesser chimera. It's not technically a boss, but it's kind of a mini-boss fight. Okay, so let's look at it. Does a ton of damage, which is physical, but it's not that quick in attacking. And it's got no specific weakness. It has a Guardian Angel, making all allies within 10 meters immune to damage for 10 seconds. Celestial Scourge. After 4 seconds of incantation time, she does 500 to 700 magic damage on enemies within 6 meters. I could interrupt that. The Chimera is not immune against knockdown, so Nella's knockdown would work. But I can also just run away. We have Primal Attack of Light, which knocks down a target and does 200 to 300 damage. And Source of Light. It's a kind of channeled healing effect, but I can use a taunt to redirect it. So for now, everyone just attack. And as you can see, the Chimera has started casting the Celestial Scourge, so I'm just going to get everyone out of range. Nokka might not be able to get back up in time, but yeah, that worked out, see? The Chimera is now done, which means no one was in range, which is good. And I'll have Denzel attack the Swordsman, actually. No. Denzel has to move here, because I want to have a clear shot on Wenderu for the healing. Nokka can use her self buffs. Denzel can now start attacking. Nella, I am not really going to use you, so lightning that Swordsman. And Denzel, activate your Hysteria of the God Rat. I don't know why that lightning didn't work. Anyway, heal for a bit. Now, the Chimera is using her healing ability. Still knocked down. So I'll just show you how I can use that. I can taunt. And now the healing will work on Nokka. And as long as it's channeling, the Chimera is not doing anything aside from healing my tank, which is obviously brilliant. And now the Swordsman is dead and Nella has leveled up. Okay, we get that skill again, that celestial blast, so let's get everyone away. Which includes Wenderu, thank you. And now everyone back in. Okay, let's see what Nella got. Actually, it might be useful in the fight. Okay, not really. Knocker. Buff yourself again. Wenderu, you can take some mana of Nella, some health of her. You might need you.
I heal your wound.
Denzel, attack faster and cut the throat. Okay, so I think I should be able to kill it in time, and even if not, it does. It might kill Nella, but I think we'll be okay. Yep. There we go. We got a coiled ring, amulet of the false prophet, a bewitched earring, and a chest, of course. Yes, we've seen all of those things. Knockdowns do exactly what you expect them to, and now we've found a bunch more stuff. So let's check it out. My usual approach to doing equipment, which let me know if you want to see this on screen or not. It might take a little while. I start with a tank, and then I just kind of work my way through and give everyone the best equipment of what's still left. So this amulet improves I do less damage on Knocker, but I don't need her as a damage dealer. She's meant to be a tank. So it improves my magic armor, and it also improves my healing received, which means healing effects on Knocker become stronger. I would definitely want that. I found a coiled ring for more magic armor, which I will just take. Physical armor and physical damage, or... yeah, I think I'll keep the earring I have now for more physical armor and the reduced reduction effects. And among the relics I found a spontaneous relic doing physical armor, healing received, or a relic of eternity. The healing received is higher on this, but I will actually use the relic of eternity because I can use all three stats. Some of the items really do suffer from a kind of Diablo 3 problem, where physical damage and magic armor sounds good, where you get mixed stats, so useful for various characters, which sometimes makes it kind of bad to use. Physical armor is not so important. Earrings don't need the mana regen, so I'll go for the physical damage. And physical armor, healing done and healing received. Nope, that will go on Wenderu because she needs the healing received. Let's actually do that now. The healing done. Healing received is useless, kind of. Now I have a ring left for physical armor, might as well. And earrings, mana regeneration. This is better. It doesn't have as many stats, so I'm losing the physical armor, but I gain more mana regen, which is important. So I can put this on Wenderu, I guess, and this earring is useless now. I have no one who could possibly need it. So we have a use for those items as well. They are never quite pointless. I can drag them down here and just drop them, which recycles them. And as you can saw, the recycle gauge kind of filled up a little bit. If it's filled up all the way, I get an epic item created, which is the highest tier of items. So this is a very good way to gain items as well. And I just put all my junk in here, and when it fills up, I get a really good item, possibly. Okay, however, I believe we can save now, and let me know what you think of the game. Any feedback and such is highly appreciated. Leave a like or dislike, whichever one you find appropriate, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye!